Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you exactly where I believe that Bitcoin is about to bottom out and why I think Bitcoin is going to see a massive bounce from that bottom and go into a major rally in Q4. I'm going to be showing you exactly where to consider putting in long entries, exactly where to put in your exits, and I'm going to be showing you where to take your profits. And I'm also going to be talking about how to manage your investment portfolio throughout all of this. So if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Without much further ado, let's go ahead. And let's go ahead and dive right on into it, guys. Bitcoin is currently going through a rounded top correction. As you guys know, we gave a sell signal right here, an exit back on Monday during the Coffee and Crypto live stream. I said to exit your longs because we will probably be going lower and you will probably get better entries. For those of you that actually listened to me and did that, because I got a lot of hate in the comments, but that was okay. For those of you that actually did that, you're probably sitting on some cash right now. And we've talked about two predominant levels that Bitcoin could retrace back down to that would be excellent entries for long-term, for long trades. And the first of which is right where we sit right here at $120,000. Now, the interesting thing is Bitcoin, even as we're speaking here, has just broken below $120,000 briefly. We dropped back down below this level. And part of the reason that this is very important here is because when we look at, sorry about this, let me zoom out. This is from earlier today. I'm going to show this in a future video, but you guys are going to love this chart that I just kind of teased at. But anyway, as we drop back down here, we can see that Bitcoin originally fell down to the $120,000 level at the 0.786 Fibonacci level, and we have now broken beneath that, and we're falling below it right now. This is happening because of this downtrending level of support and this downtrending level of resistance. Bitcoin is in a very obvious trading channel, and there are two very obvious long entries that come from this. The first of which would be a back test down to our strong support at $118,000. That is a local high that was set on the day that the Fed cut interest rates, and it also represents the visible range volume profile point of control that we have been watching for the last several months. The visible range volume profile point of control, the POC, is sitting at $118,000, making $118,000 our most likely price target for short-term bearishness. But overall fundamentals make it incredibly likely that we would bottom at this level. As you guys know, we want to be very careful and algorithmic about when we go into long trades, and one of the most obvious times one of the most obvious times to go into a long trade is right as you're falling down to support, because it makes the stop loss very easy, which helps the risk to reward profile be extremely good, which puts the odds ever in your favor. Cool. As we drop back down to $118,000, an entry around 118 would present itself, so it's a great place to set some limit orders. A stop loss would probably look like something around 117,100, and then you're going to hold that puppy all the way right back on up to all-time high, because if Bitcoin does bounce at 118, then that would validate the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Elliott impulse wave that I believe we're building right now that eventually reaches up towards our October 15th, although at this point it's starting to look like more of a Halloween price target of $130,000. If we look at the length of the last corrective wave, we can see that the last corrective wave lasted approximately 9 days. If Bitcoin were to have a corrective wave that lasts approximately 9 days, then we would be looking at the bottom being found sometime around middle of next week, around October the 15th, which is when we were originally predicting Bitcoin would be hitting $130,000. At this point in time, we do have to officially move back that prediction to the end of October because Bitcoin needed to have this correction. But that's okay. It's a perfectly healthy correction. After Bitcoin bounces off of this level of support at $118,000. Once again, this is a great place to enter into longs. Yours truly will be entering into longs down here, as I do think that we'll be revisiting $118,000 by this point in time. And at that point, we will most likely be setting serious support for Bitcoin. One thing that you'll notice is that that is also exactly where the 20 daily exponential moving average resides. And in fact, it would actually be a dip slightly below the 20 DEMA, as the DEMA sits around 118.6 right now, and that's only going to creep up over the next few days, which would give us this kind of scenario right here where we're falling briefly below it. On the 3 daily chart as well, you're going to see that would be giving us support right above that 23-day EMA. And out here on the weekly chart, you can see that we've been bouncing off of that as well. So an entry around 118.2, probably somewhere around there, an exit, a stop loss around 117.5, maybe 117.3. Play with the numbers yourself, but somewhere around there would look handy. And then from that point in time, that will give Bitcoin a significantly higher low if we do hold there, which would make it far easier for Bitcoin to break through this long-term uptrending level of resistance that we've been under for the last quite a bit. And we've seen this build out, this bearish RSI divergence over the course of the last several months, over the last year or so. And so if Bitcoin does set this higher low up here at 118, that's also going to be a bounce off of the 14 interval moving average on the daily chart RSI, which will most likely be a breakout from this RSI, which will then lead us into a parabolic breakout that will then see those major price targets take place, such as $130,000 to $150,000. Jeb, why didn't we go to $130,000? Why did we stop at 126? Well, there's a very good reason why Bitcoin stopped at $126,000. Number one, it's right there close to 125, which is a big even. It's a quarter of the way to 200. So that's number one. Number two, if you look over on CoinMarketCap, you're also going to see that represents $2.5 trillion market cap. So that's another big even level of resistance that we're looking at. And then number three, of course, this long-term uptrend has been in play for a very long time right here, as you can see. Been in play for almost a decade. And so Bitcoin breaking through that while converging with 125K and converging with $2.5 trillion is going to be a feat. But once Bitcoin does break through this ceiling right here, then that is going to allow Bitcoin to go absolutely parabolic, and it's going to see a massive amount of growth. And the good news is that ceiling that we're going to break above, that uptrend is already growing at 22% per year. It's on a logarithmic chart, so that is 22% every single year as it parabolically increases. If you extrapolate that out 10 years, it's looking at like, $500,000, $600,000. Extrapolate it out 5 years, you're looking at $250,000 to $300,000. So what's going to end up happening is we are going to flip that as resistance. We're going to turn it into support, and it's going to become one of the baselines that helps us reach to $1 million. Because if you actually extrapolate out that price target, if you actually extrapolate out that uptrending level of support, what you find is that it's probably going to be relevant for a very long time, because out in 2035, it's giving us support at $1 million. This is most likely an uptrend that is going to define the Bitcoin market for most of our lifetimes. So don't expect that this uptrend is going to go away. It's not going to. It's just most likely going to be broken, and it's going to get left behind, and it's always going to be there as something that is able to support us. So this is a trend line that will break at some point, because our uptrending level of support is far stronger than the uptrending level of resistance. The fundamentals are incredibly bullish, and it is a level that you will probably see a great bit of trading around over the course of the next several years and even the next decade or so. It may even constitute where we see bear market bottoms at some point in the future. It's a very important trend line, one that will not soon be forgotten about by technical analysts. Mark my words, in 10 years, we will be talking about the exact same trend line. But as we speak, this trend line will most likely break as Bitcoin comes up here and approaches it after getting this higher low at 118. If Bitcoin is able to bounce at 118 and we're only a $10,000 rally, 9% movement away from that uptrend will almost certainly break. One last thing I want to mention about that uptrend is that you don't really see triple and quadruple and quintuple tops. Generally, you only see double tops. And the reason that you see double tops is because double tops signify that the resistance is very strong and that it's not going to be broken. Case in point, the previous bull market, we saw a double top and it didn't break, and it still hasn't broken because the double top is actually not a flat level at $69,000. It's actually this uptrend. The top from the last bull market, since it's on an uptrend, has not yet broken, but it has been tested now. As you can see, let me show you this. It has been tested once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Right back earlier this year, it was tested a 3rd and a 4th time. And then recently, it was tested a 5th, a 6th, and now a 7th time. Levels of resistance are very rarely tested more than twice and don't break. And this is an instance where you're going to see that exact same thing happen, and long-term fundamentals are going to take over. So combining our short-term and long-term technical analysis, this is one of the most obvious, most powerful long entries that you will find anywhere on YouTube. Find the entry, set it at 118.2. Use proper risk management, make your own decisions, not your financial advisor. You've heard the spiel. If we fall below 118.2, you're going to take your 10% loss because you're probably on a good bit of leverage, and then you're going to set the entry down here at 115. And eventually what's going to happen is you're going to catch a freaking awesome entry, and you're going to catch a really nice long trade that is probably going to help you double whatever you put into it. If you would like to go ahead and do that long trade with us, I highly encourage you to join our Discord server where people are doing trades like that every single day. This guy got an entry here and closed out a trade. I hope he did. 200x trade, which is extremely risky. I mean, be very careful. I would not recommend this generally, but they ended up making 178%. If you look over here at the winning trades, you're going to see 178%, 71.5%, 101%, 28%. And all you got to do to get into this Discord server is go and sign up for our cryptocurrency exchange, Tubit. They are the official sponsor of our Discord server, and you are going to get access to our Discord server for free for a year by signing up for Tubit. That's a $419 value that we will give to you for free by signing up for Tubit using the link in the description box down below. All you got to do is deposit $100 and send a screenshot to MalachiPats@CryptoJeb.com, and you will get access to Tubit, and you will also get access to the Discord server for free. One last thing, I also want to give a major shout out to iTrust Capital. If you guys have not already signed up for iTrust Capital, I'm going to give you a really good reason why you should. If you're a small business owner, this right here, I am working on a machine that is going to help you make a crap ton of money, but one part of that machine is tax avoidance. One of the biggest ways that you can make a lot of money is avoid paying as many taxes as possible and put it into a high yielding asset such as Bitcoin. The best investment on the numerator is Bitcoin. The biggest expense on the denominator is your taxes. You can invest in Bitcoin and mitigate as many taxes as possible through different IRAs, such as an SEP IRA. If you're a business owner, you can set up an SEP, a self-employed pension IRA over here, and you can contribute up to 25% of your W-2 salary from the company that you own into the SEP IRA, and this is tax deferred. It doesn't have a cap, such as with traditional IRAs and 401ks, and you are able to reduce your taxable income this way. But of course, that's not the only product, and it's not even the flagship product that iTrust Capital offers. They offer you traditional IRAs and Roth IRAs that have a litany of tax advantages. If you want to make a lot of money and keep it, if you want to become a millionaire, you want to become a decamillionaire, you want to make $100 million bucks, you need to figure out how to play the tax game. I can effectively get taxes down to 10 to 12%, and IRAs are a part of the way that I do that. So if you have not already signed up for iTrust Capital, then make sure that you do. You need this. This is very important. iTrust Capital is the very best company in the game to invest not in ETFs, which are great and all, but it's not actually Bitcoin, but invest actually directly in spot Bitcoin while reaping massive tax advantages. You cannot beat this, and if you're doing what I'm doing and building a wealth generation engine for your family, avoiding taxes while investing in the best asset class in the history of mankind, which is cryptocurrency, is a no flipping brainer. iTrust Capital is a long-term partnership that we are going to be using because I use them for our own tax avoidance strategies, and I'm going to be sharing a lot of those with you as time goes on. So if you have not already, make sure to sign up for iTrust Capital with the link in the description box down below. When you open your account, a traditional IRA, a traditional IRA, Roth IRA, 401k rollover, SEP IRA, whatever it is, you will get a $100 funding bonus, and you'll get access to their premium custody accounts, which are basically unhackable accounts. Basically, you put money in, and you can only withdraw the money to the account that you use to deposit into iTrust, which means if somebody somehow hacked into your account, they can't withdraw to another bank account. They can't withdraw to another wallet because they can only withdraw to your bank account. Extremely powerful security so that you don't have the ability to get hacked. It's incredible. If you've not already signed up for iTrust Capital, you need to. It's a very important part in your arsenal, and you're going to see me using it a lot as I teach you how to build millions and millions of dollars of net worth in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So just trust me on this. Sign up for iTrust Capital with the link in the description box down below. You are going to be so incredibly glad you did, because it's going to be a very important tool in your tool belt of tax avoidance, diversification, safety, and wealth generation. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And before I go, I love you. And I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.